with Love and Soap Studio. Hi, I'm Amanda with Love and Soap Studio. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube videos and for being here. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe to our channel so that you'll be notified when we publish new videos. So this soap was a lot of fun to make. I didn't really have a plan when I got started, but I wanted something festive and fun for the holidays. So something with like some cranberry red, some gold, and some green mica. So let's get started. All right, so as usual, I already have my base oils prepared in my lye solution. If you're new to soap making or you don't know how to prepare your lye solution or your oils, please check out our basic soap making video series, and I go over in detail how to do it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and mix our soap to light trace, and then we're gonna divide it out and color it, and then do a design. So my temperatures of both my lye solution and my oils are about 90 degrees. So I like to soap 80 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and that keeps things nice and slow so that we have time to do our design. Now we're just going to want to mix this until it's emulsified, and that happens pretty quickly. All right. So let's stir by hand a little bit. Make sure it's mixed. All right, so I think that's pretty well emulsified, but we're not quite at trace. So that's going to allow us plenty of time to mix our colors and then do our swirl. All right, so as far as our colors, we know that we want some green and some pink. So I'm using Kelly Green Mica from Brambleberry and Voodoo from Mad Oils. Now the Kelly Green, if you've ever used that, it's a little funky. It turns kind of an olive green, or I don't know, just kind of a weird color in soap. But then the next day it'll be that bright green. So don't freak out if you're mixing it and it's not quite the color that you're wanting. So it will work out. And all right, so let's do the Voodoo. We're going to do about half a teaspoon each. So this little teaspoon I have is a quarter teaspoon, so I'm going to do 2 of those. Then we're going to mix it and we're going to see what it looks like, and if we need to add more color, we can add more color. And again, with the Kelly Green, don't freak out with what you're about to see, because it will turn a nice pretty green. Voodoo is probably one of my favorite colors for soap making. It's just such a pretty color. So there it is, pretty green, and then it'll start turning kind of a murky color, but that's okay. Don't worry too much. It'll turn back. All right, so I think those look good. And then I want my base nice and white. So I'm going to add some white mica. Now I'm going to add a lot. I'm going to add probably 2 teaspoons. I had a little charcoal on my spoon, but that's okay. Now you can pre-mix that if you want, but you don't have to. I just simply put my stick blender right over it, push it down, and then mix it up. Don't mix it too much because you don't want your soap to get too thick. But we do want to thicken it up a little, just to light trace so that it doesn't get too muddied when we pour our swirl. And then these are pretty loose, so I'm going to thicken them up a little bit as well. Again, don't worry about that green. It'll be pretty tomorrow. Okay, whoops. All right. Okay, now I'm going to use a tall skinny mold for this. And I think what we're going to do is pour in half of our base, and then we're going to swirl in the green and the cranberry color, and then pour the rest of our base. And then we'll see, well, I have these little cranberries that, or we'll put on top. Or berries, I don't really know what they are. Cranberries, berries. Okay. Okay, and then with the colors, we'll do just kind of like a drop swirl design, I think. Or like, actually, we'll do kind of like a tiger stripe swirl. How about that? I didn't really have a plan, you guys. I just knew what colors I wanted to do. But I think this will look good. Okay, and so I think we'll then put this white on top. And then we'll just get the rest of this in the mold. And I want to end up with some white on top so that when I put my berries in, you can really see them nicely. So as you can tell, I really didn't have a plan for this. Just keeping it real. But sometimes that's fun. Because you never know what you're going to end up with. Okay. Let's get the rest of this. Okay. Then let's get the rest of the white on top. Kind of making a mess, but what's a good soap making session without a mess? Okay. All right, and then I think what we'll do is we can either swirl that or I can let it sit and thicken up a little bit and then put the berries on top. So I think what I'll do is I'll let it thicken up a bit. So let's wait about 5 minutes and I'll be back. And then we'll do some texture with a spoon. And then I'll put the cranberries over here on the white side. So I'm gonna clean up a little bit and I'll be back and we'll do that. Okay, so I'm back a little early because I had an idea. I wanted to see what this would look like with a bit of a hanger swirl, but I'm only gonna do half because I wanna compare and contrast if I like it better with a swirl or if I like it without. So I'm just taking this wire swirl tool from Rebelberry, and I folded it to fit just half the mold, and I'm going to use it to swirl. So, and then we'll see kind of the difference between the swirled and the unswirled, and you can decide if you want to make something similar, if you want it swirled or not. So we will compare and contrast. So I'm thinking I'll just do like some circular swirls and come up through the middle. All right, so we'll be able to look at that and see if we like that or if we should have just left it alone, which this side is left alone, so that's going to be good. All right. So now I'm going to let it sit, and then we'll be back. We'll texture it a little bit, and then we'll put some cranberries on top. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes, so I am going to texture this a little bit. And to do that, I'm just going to use this 1/4 teaspoon. And I might have to use a bigger spoon. We'll see how it goes. But we're just going to kind of do this. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You can just kind of scoop it with your spoon. And I might have needed it to set up a little bit because that white's not really moving, but that's okay. We'll just go with it. When you're doing this yourself, let it sit up a little more. Okay, that looks all right. And then I have these little tiny little berries that I made using my palm-free and animal fat-free soap dough recipe. And so I'll link to that up above. But I thought I would just put these on and then we'll dust it with some glitter. So I did 10 sets of 3, which I actually needed 12. I forgot, but that's okay. We'll just be too short. And so to make sure that we're putting them everywhere that we need to, because I cut my soap at 1-inch intervals. So we'll kind of just put this here so that I can keep an eye on where I'm putting them. So make sure you do enough for your loaf. I'm going to be too short. did take my gloves off because it's really hard to handle these little guys. All right, and then I thought we'd just sprinkle some glitter on. So you can do that or not. This is just some fine iridescent glitter from Brambleberry. And I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on. And I think that really makes it look nice and festive. So, oops, that was a little much. Okay, so again, with this tall and skinny Brambleberry mold, it does bow a little bit. So I'm gonna put a jar on either side of it to kind of push it together. But basically that's it. We're gonna wait 24 hours. We'll let it saponify, and then we'll be back to cut it. All right, so we're gonna cut our fun holiday soap that we made. So here's what it looks like. Very nice. Ooh. Now remember, with this one, we did half of it, we swirled the inside, and then half of it we didn't. So we should have two different looks here. So that's the one that we didn't swirl, so that looks pretty cool. Oh wow, it looks like a heart, a Christmas heart. Okay. And then we should be getting close to the ones we did swirl. So here's the ones where we did swirl. All right, so we got a swirl and a no swirl, so you can choose what you want to do. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. For more soap making tutorials, articles, design techniques, and recipes, please visit our website at lovinsoap.com, LOVIN soap.com. We'd also love you to join our Facebook group, Saponification Nation, where soap makers from all over the world come together to talk soap, share their projects, their beautiful photos, and what they're working on. So just go to Facebook, search groups for Saponification Nation, and we should pop up.